Hi, I'm Jenny Tebbett from Raising Achievement. I'm really pleased to be bringing you this series on underpinning cognitive weaknesses. Tonight, for our fourth session, we're actually going to be talking about short-term and working memory. Everybody needs a good short-term and working memory to be a good learner. Students need to be able to follow instructions, they have to remember what they read, and they have to hold maths numbers in their head and manipulate them. When we assess students with learning difficulties, we often find that short-term and working memory is an underpinning weakness. Other aspects of memory that's problematic for our students with learning difficulties are poor visual memory for words. Often these children have difficulty learning their sight words. They are also the students who struggle with a word when reading. You work it out with them, only to find that a few lines later, they've forgotten it again. Many of our students with learning difficulties are forgetful and they lose things often, another sign of a poor short-term and working memory difficulty. Research on short-term and working memory published by Science Direct, undertaken by Garnier and Gathercole, investigated working memory as well as learning and study skills in college and university students with and without dyslexia. Their findings concur with previous literature on dyslexic performance in verbal tasks. Findings on the working memory measures show that there was a significant difference between the dyslexic and comparison groups in working memory performance. The dyslexic learners perform significantly poorly in all of the working memory tasks, especially on the verbal working memory task. Additional research in this area highlights working memory training positively impacts achievement. A recent study in China showed how working memory training improves developmental dyslexia in Chinese children. The visual rhyming task and reading fluency were significantly improved by training. Progress on working memory measures was related to changes in reading skills. These experimental findings indicate that working memory is a pivotal factor in reading development among children with developmental dyslexia, and interventions to improve working memory may help dyslexic children become more proficient in reading. In a recent Egyptian study, these findings were replicated. In this study, there was significant improvement of the studied group after therapy. In the different tests, such as the Stanford Binet Intelligence Scale, Childhood Attention and Adjustment Survey, and the Arabic Dyslexia Assessment Test, among others. It concludes that memory training can have an effect on domain general cognitive mechanisms, and therefore the results benefit multiple areas of cognition and learning. With our increased knowledge and research on the effects of working memory, it shows just how important it is to identify poor working memory. Initially, we're going to need to put in accommodations for it, but without remediation, it will be one of the underpinning weaknesses that continue to impact student achievement, even despite having good teaching and other interventions. The purpose of this series is to increase awareness and understanding around underpinning weaknesses. It is my hope that with increased understanding, you'll be encouraged to develop your skills in this area. Further information is on our website, and don't hesitate to contact me. Join us again next week where we'll talk about processing problems. In the meantime, let's all keep making a difference for those who learn differently.